Hey everybody, this is Stacie-Rae from A.R.T. and this is our first official podcast interview. We're going to be doing Medical Mondays and we're going to do it in a really interesting way. We're going to be doing a round robin type effect. So we're going to be talking every week about the good and the bad and the ugly of a topic that kind of comes up. And each week, somebody who was interviewed the week before is going to interview a new person. And we're going to do this on Monday. So we're going to call it Medical Mondays as an offshoot of Nicole's course that she teaches on Monday mornings on breast surgeries. So last week, an interesting point came up, and Kara from Spot On Beauty brought this little problem that she saw to me about when are people ready? When do you let people know after they've taken a nipple tattoo training, when are they ready to really be in referral programs and really kind of put themselves out there? And we decided that this was a problem worth talking about. So we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of this particular problem. So why don't you tell us a little bit more about what are your thoughts, Kara? When are you ready?
Well, I think it's different. Depends. It's multifactorial. Stacie, I had a very well-known student come to me, and she's yet to do any areolas tattoos other than with me. And she's been tattooing for like 8 years now. She's awesome. I'm not naming any names, okay? So she's like, hey, so and so said that they want them to be on a referral program. I was like, that's so amazing. For what? And she's like, for areola tattoos. And I just need to have my certificate. I don't know where it went. I'm like, okay, hold on. What? First of all, I didn't want to offend her. I didn't want to make her upset because I'm a motivator. We're mentors, Stacie. Our job is to motivate, do what's right, and keep you pushing. Sometimes the pushing and doing what's right, it might seem like pushing you down. But I was like, how am I going to handle it? So it's a text message, and I was like, hey, congratulations, because that's huge. That's a huge honor to be a referral. I don't care if it's your hometown and someone's referring you from the Piggly Wiggly. I don't care. But this is a huge person and a big platform. So and then I was like, okay, congratulations, really awesome. Why would they have you come and you've never, and as a referral, and you've never done a tattoo before of the areola? You've done all the other stuff. And she's like, I know, but I don't know. And she thought about it. So think about that. It's just like, I'm so excited just to be here. When am I ready? So when I listen to people kind of come to their own aha moment, I start thinking of solutions. Like, okay, I'm thinking of, what is she going to say? Never mind. I'm going to tell them no, or I'm going to have them wait. And I just didn't hear anything, the text messages, other than congratulations, but why? And then she just kind of made up her own excuses, but went back and forth. So I was like, I'm going to call you. So I called her up. I was like, listen, I don't want you to think I'm being rude. She goes, no, I didn't think about it. I was just honored. And that's where I thought, I'm honored to do it. And I'm going to say yes, because I don't want to be told no. And trust me, there's always going to be someone that is going to ask and ask and ask whether you're ready or not. Stacie, question back at you. To be an areola tattooer specifically, do you question or hesitate if you're ready or not? Yes or no?
If I'm
Do
ready
you
or not?
hesitate? Does anyone of a student need to hesitate when they're ready?
Like that the hesitation is the cue that they're not ready. That's what you're saying?
In general, when someone says, I want you to tattoo my nipples, are you thinking one bit, I'm not ready? No, you're saying you're ready. You're saying, yes, I'm ready. I don't hesitate. Come sit in my chair. Welcome. The best hands that could be on, your chest, example, right? So she hesitated. I'm like, no. And I love this, and love doesn't hesitate. Okay. So there should be no hesitation. So I'm like, dang it. How do people know? So I thought of like some random thought of however I got this, an algorithm. So then I'm a creative person. So I just thought, boom, I'm going to get an algorithm for, am I ready to tattoo? Like, yes or no. And that's where that little like seed got planted for our conversation in general. Cause I was like, Stacie, how do I handle this? Cause you are one of my friends, but also a mentor. And I'm so excited to throw that out there because you're one of the people that drove my direction into the art part. not the tattoo part, because I already knew how to tattoo. I just didn't understand like the art part, because what I was seeing was not hyper realism, was not realistic areolas. I'm like, who's this person on the Google website? So that's one of the things. Side note. So Stacie, it boils down to there's no hesitation, have an algorithm for it. So I don't know. I just thought of things. Well, how many years have you been tattooing? And if it's, have you been tattooing at least 3 years? And just regular skin. Yeah. Yes. Okay, cool. Boom. If it's no, then it stops until you can say yes. All right. Yes, you have. Boom. Okay. Phenomenal. Do you know how to draw just with a pencil an areola that looks realistic? Take a picture of your own areola or call a friend, and then black and white that out on your phone. Okay. And then draw that. Realism. Can you do that perfectly? Pretty freaking amazing to where you're obsessed about it, dream about nipples. That's fine. Yes? Cool. Next. Can you do it in color? Next. Yes, no. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? That's the thing. Having a am I ready is not out there for a lot of medical tattooing. Am I ready is not experimenting. You don't experiment on it. I experimented in tattooing for like a lot of years before I even got on a human being's chest for areolas. So that's the thing. When you're ready is a checklist. And who should have that checklist? Someone who's been doing it, who is currently able to prove it and teach it, at least have had history, you know. And at the end of the day, your mentor should be the one telling you when you're ready. And if your mentor doesn't have a checklist of can you do at least, do you tattoo? Do you know how to work on scarred skin or tough skin and all the color skin and ages? And then from there, the art, the
So that brings up an interesting topic. So you mentioned mentor. Now we have a lot of people in the PMU world that are offering classes that aren't mentors. They don't actually know how to mentor. They've never had a mentor. They don't know what mentorship is really about. They don't really understand that. So
I don't know what a tattoo mom is. That's why.
That's going to be a hard one to kind of get everybody on the same page of, because what we need to do is reach a crisis of agreement. Because if somebody's not ready, like ask each person, if you ask 100 people, are you ready to do an areola tattoo? A lot of them are going to say yes, and they're not going to know that they're not ready. And they'll jump in anyway, and they don't care if they do any harm. Now,
Experience, yeah.
my line in the sand is, and people can tattoo for 30 years and still not know how to do a decent tattoo. So that doesn't really do it. There's people out there, there's people in the body art world that have been tattooing 6 years that tattoo circles around, you know, like there's, so
I'm glad you brought that up.
it
That's,
comes
yeah.
down to like dedication and like dedication to the craft and a
Yeah.
little bit of talent, but really just a lot of dedication, the kind of dedication that makes you draw obsessively. Like you're talking about, like, do you dream about it? So for me, when I think about if people should be doing areola tattoos, I'm like, is the work that you would do acceptable for your mother or your sister or your best friend? Like,
For
because
yourself.
this, like, for yourself, if you lost your nipples, would you go to you? That's kind of like
Right.
my question back to them. Would you go to you? I'm
Yeah.
like,
Ooh. And then also, if not who, and then whoever that person is, I would, in a very respectful way, like in the medical world, for example, find that colleague friendship, respectful friendship. And the only thing you're taking from that is just the guidance to be better by, can you look at my work? Because that turns into, gotta be careful. I'm gonna talk to you about tattoo mom, because people are watching this that are not traditional tattooers. They may not understand what tattoo family or tattoo mom is. So I'm gonna bring that up after this, if you don't mind. So you don't steal their, IP or their like, Lord only knows. Stacie-Rae. Stacie, you must be the most plagiarized areola tattoo artist out there in the world of all the history of tattooing. Back to the point.
thank
So
you. Thank you. Yes, it's
I'm
true.
sorry. I just had to throw that out there, Stacie. I know you, I've met you, and there's no reason why, like, this is where I'm going to segue in a second to the tattoo mom. So if you have someone like, hey, Stacie, I did this to you. I did this to you. Remember? I said, hey, you don't know me. I'm a tattooer, doing for 11 years. I had to like tell you who the hell I was, because I know. I'm like, who the hell are you? I don't care. I'm like, hi, you don't know me. This is me. I've been doing this for like 11 years. How's my art? And I send you some work. I sent you some healed results. I sent you like lots of healed results and some artwork. And I said, just what did I say? Destroy me, tear me apart, tell me to cut my hands off. What do you think? And then you're like, very like long, drawn out, extremely informative. I like it. I don't know. I'm just gonna something like work on the texture, the nipples, the shadows, something like that you gave me. I'm like, thank you. And it boom, changed my game. But as a tattooer, you give a little bit of knowledge. Oh, bet, got it. I ran with it. So that is what I stole from you, but it's not stealing. It is just a trade for trade because of their needs. Stacie said, we don't need more areola tattooers. We need better tattooers. I I still have chill bumps. Listen to that, Stacie. That was a good one. And I'm like, you're right. God, I always say we need more out there. We need better out there. So the mentoring is finding other people, like in medical world, like my boyfriend, he's a medical doctor. When they have a problem, they don't know anything. Like, hey, I have heard of someone who might know somebody. So they'll call a doctor friend. That doctor friend says, I got a friend. And they'll connect. And then Arian and the guy or girl who they're talking to, discussing whatever case, they are giving so much incredible information. Aaron's like, oh my God, it's awesome. And he saved people's lives because of that. Why can't we do that with respect?
So I have an
So,
answer for that. So part of it is I get a lot of people messaging me who just kind of are looking for that like free, like tell me what to do here, looking for that kind of free advice. And I really feel like sometimes I feel like a picked apart carcass. Sometimes I feel like I'm vultured, that people are like, hey, everybody wants a piece of me, but nobody really wants to kind of show me the respect that you did coming in and starting a conversation with me, like actually like an equal, you know. But you also had a different level of access to me because we were, you know, we both know Liz Cook and she believes in us both, and Sean, you know, like we kind of like
we've been vetted.
vetted. Yeah, we've both been through an approval process. So it's like that's kind of hard advice, because if somebody like just kind of asked me some rude question, like demanding kind of half-assed question, like, hey, tell me what to do here. I'm like, I really am.
But there's a half-assed question though. In a colleague,
And
you
then they
know,
think I'm being rude because I'm like, I'm not really gonna, that is not gonna warrant an answer for me that is going to create space for you in my life, because I also have to protect my energy, because I give my energy to my clients.
and I will just say that, yeah, you do.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, another thing is, Stacie, you've been picked apart for so many years, but look how much you're still going, and that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot. It's almost like when you get picked apart, you're like an onion, and you give layer and layers, but it actually you're still blooming from it. You're still coming out of that, figuring out different ways not to get picked apart. But then
Yeah.
at the end of the day, this is a perfect segue to it. So I didn't ask you, like, hey, can you tell me how shitty my art, good or bad it is? Boom. I said, hi, this is me. This is who I am. This is what I've done. I just got done doing a freaking 4-hour arm sleeve. Like, I just want to let you know I'm legit. I just want to produce better art for these survivors. Can you give me some art tips for these survivors? I asked you in a way that was literally genuine, and it was another tattooer talking to another tattooer. So let me segue back to this tattoo mom real quick, because I don't want to go too long. So historically in traditional tattooing, okay, like I had to take apart, put together a coil machine, and there's people make your own needles. There's the history and respect to that. So I say this, Stacie, you are a tattoo mom, but the culture of uh medical tattooing and permanent makeup tattooing culture, there's no like mom. Like, I have a dad, I have a brother. You're a tattoo mom. My apprentices, I have a permanent makeup apprenticeship and tattoo apprenticeships, but they call me mom. They all call me mom. So the thing is, Stacie, you're thinking with your tattoo mom. You're thinking like a tattoo mom because that's who you are. You can't slap that off of you, man. So I got a little, I didn't get it near as much as you are because of how smart you are and where to take areola tattooing specifically. I didn't get picked apart as much as you. And I'm so sorry. I'm saying sorry for anyone who's ever fucked up and try to take any IP from you and who's shitted on your name, because they're not tattooers. There's a certain respect in the tattoo world, tattoo culture. So think like a tattoo apprenticeship mom if you're in a tattoo world. So giving that respect and starting to educate people how to come to people that can give you the world and the best advice. There is also, we need to algorithm that out as well. So you are a trainer mentor, or are you a tattoo mom? You understand what I'm saying? But you adopt them just
Yeah.
like you would pick a child out of an adoption. There's so many beautiful children in the entire
Oh,
world that
and
deserves to get adopted.
look at how many bratty little teenagers hate their moms. So there you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a
So
to bring it up. So okay, so back to you offer a PMU tattoo apprenticeship. That's awesome. Like, and you take like the good traditional tattoo values and you bring it into PMU, which is fantastic.
yeah,
So
a little bit of hazing, a lot less.
areola tattooing aside, say somebody's doing brows or liner, when are they ready? So to stay on topic of the, like the reason for the,
Oh,
like, when are they
well,
ready?
my program is everyone starts off with 6 months of just training in general. They don't get to touch a human for 6 months. Now that's for actually becoming another me. And they're called tatter tots. That's kind of like tattoo culture, little tatter tot. And then after 6 months, they get their first model, and the model knows that they are models. It is not at all like safe space for them. They know, but it's not at all like pretend, don't say anything. I'm going to say what is required at that time in the middle of the tattoo. So I'm not going to have to lie and say, hey, you're about to mess up with code words, because they're not going to mess up. It would just be, hey, do this. It'll be better. Because stretch is so hard to practice on even the best skins. You know what I mean? You've got some killer skins that you've created. So hell, even the best skins, a stretch and a human oohing and on. So they have to learn how to leave their heart at the door, because we don't care if Melinda's crying about her brows. You're fine. Keep going. So then after that, about a year, they get brows. And after that, I let them choose. And I chose to say that because I didn't get a choice when I was a tatter tot. You're doing nothing but a 3-round liner and figure it out. You're tattooing whatever the hell walks in the door off a wall. Okay. You know what I mean? So they get to choose what their second one is. So I've got 4 right now, and I keep them for 4 years. So they get a license after 4 years, and that's what my contract is. So 4 years. And after a year, they choose what they want to do. I have one girl who wants to do areola tattooing. So she comes to the hospital. I tattoo about 1 to 4 areolas consistently about 4 days a week. And I go three different hospitals I contract out of. And they'll come. So I'll do about four patients at least when we go. So she's my breakdown setup girl, and I just now, after 5 months, like allowed her to put the tegaderm over the patients with their permission. And I'll say like that's what I'll allow them to do, just to kind of get their hands dirty, so to speak. So yeah, and then one's doing eyeliner, one's doing body art. They just take what they want, because I feel you have to lead with your heart. And you said something about that earlier too.
So that's awesome for somebody who has the fortune of having an apprenticeship. But we're talking about an entire field that wants to learn this very advanced things in 3 days. Thank you very much. So if these people haven't done an areola outside of their training, and some of them come to me for training that haven't even done an areola in the training. They just tattooed the practice skin in the training. So when are they actually ready? When are they ready to be on a big name database, like where you would send your mom to
I
them?
got you. Yeah.
Yeah, like how do you actually answer the question that
Okay. Well, I have actually kind of almost done making this little algorithm thing, because I'll go back on it obsessively, wake up about it, because of what you and I talked about with a previous with a student of mine. When you're ready, it means you have lots of healed results of other tattoos that look phenomenal. Not a tattoo that looks good when edited or from far away. I'm talking zoom in. I want to see all the good, bad, and ugly. And I want to see it. several of them. That's why I sent you several. I didn't know that people didn't know this, Stacie. That's why I sent you lots of healed results of my areola tattoos for advice. Like, hey, I'm not some fraud over here. But they're ready when they could do tattoos. I want to see skins of different color and ages. I want to see it healed and at least a year healed, not edited. I will accidentally be like, what the hell is this? And really be prepared for that, because people that you're touching, okay, pretend like you don't know anything, Stacie. People that you're touching, they have been through hell. They don't need to be experimented on. So when you're super prepared to give them healed results that you would give like yourself, then you're ready to start the art of drawing an areola. And then that art drawing has to come with your practice in skins. I'm sorry, I could do a tattoo on practice skins and I know how it feels on a human skin. So I could get some more. If I go to a tattoo, like if I go with you and I worked on your practice skins, which are great, by the way, if I worked on your practice skins and you were right there mentoring me, fuck yes, using the language, I could do that on fake skins and on a human, and it will translate. I'm that confident because I'm a traditional tattooer, or I've had lots of time in the skin. For people who aren't traditional tattooers, it doesn't matter. I have people who are fresh out of like incredible art school and they just need to learn how to tattoo, and they will blow everyone away in the best way possible. So when you could tattoo, give some healed results, the art part, and then know the when to say no, because there's ripping in skin, there's that. You got to be able to see the irritation. Oh, that's over a scar that's raising more. Oh, is that keloid or hypertrophic scarring? You should know what that is prior to coming. And last but not least, radiated skin. You just have to know the different skin types because you're exposed to it by your education. My Arian, when he was in medical school, he's like, dude, week 1 of residency, or I learned about that, and I hadn't seen it at all until the 4th year of residency. I saw it. I don't know why I remembered the picture of that skin, but I knew what it was. I diagnosed it. If you just see what radiated skin looks like, you're not going to unsee that. Whether it's here or here, you get enough of that exposure, seeing things, and then just understanding when to stop. Because as medical tattooers, our job is when to know the skin has had enough, and when how much the skin can take. Because you've got a tattoo sometimes it looks like a bloody blob of mess, but we know when to stop, and it heals to like glorious. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
That's still like kind of hard to simplify though, right?
No, the hell it ain't. I got the algorithm little thing. We're gonna send it.
So what do you got? What did you figure out? A spreadsheet, data form? Like, what did you do? What are you talking about? What's this algorithm thing you're talking about?
So you have a 12-year-old. So that right there just set me up for knowing how to deal with shit. And understanding when it was time for him to play and not do your chores. Like, have you done this? Have you done that? And he also has ADHD, so he's extremely all over the place. So we had to check off everything because he genuinely, bless his heart, would forget. Like, oh, go clean my room, make my bed, and check the mail, whatever that might be. He'll check, and then not do it. So do it, then check it off. That's number one.
I love that. And translating that to tattooing, like, have you actually done it? But did you? But did you
Yeah, I
actually
had to do it for my student. That when people are telling me a problem or a question or anything, I don't know, what do you want from McDonald's? I don't care what it is. I'm thinking of solution. That's just my psychoticness. Okay. I'm not going to apologize for that, but I'm listening and I'm waiting to hear a solution because I've already got an idea, but that's just how it happened. So I talked to her about it. She goes, oh, that was genius. I'm like, let me try it on someone else. So who am I going to try it on? I tried it on you because who else is the best person to know? Hey, Stacie, what do you think about this? Would your students be ready if you did this? I'm not going to ask a student if they'd be ready if I gave them this algorithm. No, I want another trainer who is extremely talented and has a lot of time in skin. And then also equally pissed off if it's not done right because of personal experiences.
Right. Okay, so let's flip this around then. Let's flip this question around. How would a survivor know if the tattooist is ready? Because I love what you said earlier about being accountable to, if that tatter tot is going to do their first tattoo, that client knows that they're getting a first tattoo. But we have people taking trainings who don't even do that, or online trainings, the worst, which is a whole other conversation. People actually believe that they can learn how to do this online, and then they just start tattooing people. They're like, oh, I do this service now. And then they just start tattooing people, and they don't even know if they're making those mistakes that you're talking about. So as a survivor, like, how would a survivor know? Like, how do we keep people accountable?
Okay, first of all, I want to preface that response with I would never know because I'm not a survivor. I would never know. But if you held an imaginary gun to me and said, tell me right now, okay, fine. I'm going to start talking now. So if I was a survivor, Stacie, I would trust my doctor, and I would trust the people that are promoting it. So either from my experience with survival tattooers or people with preventative surgery, which I think is a survivor in my own world too, I would say the people who are getting this done, they should look at others as like my doctor, I trusted you with my life, so I'm going to trust you with whoever the hell's going to tattoo. So it's all about education, and they don't know when to do it. So really, there is no ready for a survivor now that I'm just vomiting words out of my mouth. They trust people. So it's up to us, honestly, Stacie.
Right.
They shouldn't.
Because the
There,
doctors
I've got so
know.
many botched jobs I'm fixing right now.
The
I'm hot
doctors,
right now. I'm sweating.
the doctors don't even care to learn. Doctors, for the most part, there's a large amount of doctors out there that don't even like tattoos. They think that tattoo people are like low lives. And part of the reason that they probably think that is because the tattooed people are always the bad guys in the movies. And then they're like, how do you
I know.
guy? He's the one with the tattoos. Oh, there's a tattooed guy. He must be a bad guy. Like, it's like the stereotypes actually stopping the professionals from seeing quality for what it is. But I'm going to go back
Yeah.
to something that you said a little bit earlier, and then we're going to wrap this up because we want to
Okay.
keep it short. So you said something earlier about taking somebody on to train them how to do areolas, and you said you would want to see healed work a year later. And then you said that you showed me your healed work, healed and aged work. So I think for any survivors that might be listening to this, because we talk and tattoo talk a lot, like we expect each other to know what we mean, you know, but survivors who might hear this, like, how do they decipher that? And I think you want to see drawings that your tattooist knows how to draw. Like Kara said, they know how to draw something that looks like an actual nipple. And then you want to see good unedited fresh tattoos, and then see how that the exact tattoo heals. Because I also see some pretty nice looking fresh tattoos that I'm like, that ain't staying in the skin. That is definitely not staying in scar tissue. And I can tell if it's going to fall out, but that person never shows the healed picture.
Exactly. And I will say this, it's so up to the people that are currently now doing well, that are training, and I mean doing well to train. It is everybody's responsibility to make sure that they actually think of the survivors first, because a lot of survivors that I talk to, they don't know to advocate for themselves. I've got a student who's really awesome. I've told you about her. We're going to talk about her another time. Who is a survivor herself and has a really shitty orange nipple tattoo, and she keeps it as like her badge of honor, whatever. Just that reminder that there needs to be better out there. So it is your job as a trainer. Can you prove yourself that you're the one to learn from? Because you got the art, not a 2D nipple with a X in the middle and a white circle around the entire thing.
Yeah.
Does it? I don't want to diss
And,
anyone, but I'm trying to say keep going. And if you're a
and
survivor,
if you're a
advocate for
trainer,
yourself.
and if you're
Advocate
a
for yourselves
trainer,
in medical and tattooing.
sorry, I didn't mean to talk over her there.
That's it. I'm excited. Look at this.
And if you're a trainer, that you're not an A.R.T. graduate already, because then you're just plagiarizing stuff. Like if you've been through the A.R.T. program, you're probably just doing your own version of what I taught you. So also like that
Yeah.
people come
I've
up
seen some
with
versions of Stacie-Rae out there.
so also that people like that there's trainers out there that aren't just teaching what they learned from other trainers, like just taking bits and pieces from all the other trainers and then like calling it their own. Like the people are actually offering something new and innovative because they understand what they're teaching. Not that they just heard someone else say it, but that they
Yeah.
actually understand scar tissue, they understand depth, texture, contrast, that they actually understand these things so that the people who are learning from them are actually learning something that's coming from somebody who's proven their mastery, not just somebody who learned from proving their mastery.
Yeah, and really just what is their end goal? My and yours is also, and then an awesome friend of ours, Nicole. She's my goal. I don't give a damn about anything but that survivor because we, Stacie, I'm getting chill bumps. We're the only thing that they chose out of this whole situation. You didn't choose breast cancer. You didn't choose the botched jobs or the decent job. You're lucky as hell if you get a one and done for everything that you get done with your breast after breast cancer and stuff. We're chosen. Take that as an honor. Take that as any way and shape or form. I'll end up with saying this, that you give your body to someone in every shape, way, or form. That trust, that is what we need to hold sacred. I care about the survivors and how it heals and how they look at themselves and love who they are, not what is done to them. So that's it. That's what it boils down to. You here for the survivors or your cool pictures or your student taking a photo with a certificate? I forget sometimes to post my damn pictures with students.
Me too.
Okay, I'm done. That's all I got to say about
order,
that.
Sometimes I forget to order the certificates. I get so caught up in getting excited about the training, and then I'm like, oh, I have to mail that to you. I just I need
I
more of me.
I
Anyway,
don't have anything hung up on my walls with certificates. I just don't. But yeah,
yeah.
I mean, this is an awesome career to get into. I think you can get into it. I don't think as tattooers or people, we don't need to turn our nose up personally when people are like, hey, I want to get into this. Okay, great. Welcome to the family. But if you don't have that family desire to be, to learn, this isn't for you.
Like it has to be like who you are, right? Like it
Yeah,
has to be like
character is
who
everything.
you are. It's
Everything.
like it's not something that you do. Like for me, tattooing, like I don't go home at the end of the day and not think about tattooing.
Oh,
Like
I
I like
know.
live and breathe it, you know, like
Yeah. And think of this, when you're in the hospital, especially when you're on your own studio or workspace or shop, nobody, I never have once gotten a doctor come in to observe me tattooing. They've come in and asked the patient, oh, is everything going good? Oh, cool, sign here so that insurance will pay for it.
right.
And you have to do what is right when doors are closed. So that's why character is important.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, good. Thank you. That's awesome. Yeah,
That
that's
was fun. I'm sweating right now, Stacie.
a
I love this. This is needed. Good job. This is awesome.
Thank
And
you.
thank you so much, Stacie. Thank you so much. This is amazing right now. This is amazing. Thank you for everything you've done in this industry and all of the awesome stuff that's going to keep going. I'm excited.
Thank you.
Algorithm chart coming soon.
Okay, so thank you. Yeah. Thank you for saying that this is cool and this is needed. That's awesome. It's been coming to me too in dreams and stuff. Like I'm doing this because it just keeps coming to me. But it's definitely not about me, and it's about all of us and all of us having a voice, including the survivors. So if you could interview anybody, who would you interview?
Okay, so we were just talking about Survivor. Can I say it now? I'm gonna do it. She's gonna say yes more. So it's a student of mine. Her name is Barbara Fox. She's got and she'll be the first one to say it. You know, she had breast cancer, and then she got an orange nipple tattoo, and she was so pissed that that happened to her. And she's feisty. She wanted to learn, and she's the student that you don't accept. And she was the exception. So you'll learn about Barbara Fox when I talk to her. She don't even know yet. She's
No, yeah,
feisty. She
no
makes us
idea.
look like little kittens. It's good. It's gonna be a good show on that one.
So let's keep this going. Let's aim
Okay.
for Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern time, which is 4 p.m. Pacific time. We will live stream. We will put this at the end of every interview. We will put this on the A.R.T. YouTube channel, and then we will gather the audio files for a podcast. And every week, I'd like to see everybody interview somebody new. So next week, when you interview Barbara, hopefully she'll say yes when you ask her. And if not, then you can ask somebody else. That's up to you. I'll totally, we'll text, talk. I'll totally help you out with that if she's not interested. And then she's gonna get to interview somebody she wants to get. And if anybody wants to come back to me and throw me down in the hot seat, I'm down with that too. And we're just gonna have some fun talking about paramedical artistry and how amazing it can be and what we need to do to get it there.
Awesome.
So thank you for
Thanks.
being here today, Kara, and I will talk to you later, and I look forward to your interview next week.
Awesome. Let's go.